Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer, and now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Hi, I'm John Malice, and welcome to this live edition of Connect with me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this Tuesday morning. It's a great Tuesday morning, and today we're going to be talking about the Poverillo House. It serves thousands and thousands of people, and this year at Thanksgiving, there'll be a lot of people coming through the doors for that Thanksgiving Day meal. 436 MeTV option 11 will tell you all about the Poverillo House. Remember, if you call in, turn down the sound on your TV set. Back in a moment. And welcome back to the program here on Connect with me on MeTV Fresno on this Tuesday morning. You might recall a couple of weeks ago we had Andy Souza. He's the head of the food bank here in Fresno, and he was talking about the need for people to come in and donate their food, donate their time, and certainly donate some money to that nonprofit organization that serves so many needy people right here in the Central Valley. Well, today we're talking about another nonprofit organization that helps those in need 365 days a year. I'm talking about the Poverillo House. By the way, the Poverillo right now celebrating 40 years. Can you believe that? 1973, that thing started. And so 40 years in the making right now, and right now as I speak, they're in, I think, more need than ever before for people to come forward and donate turkeys, donate whatever they possibly can to the Poverillo House. Let's take you to the videotape. 40 years in the making. I got to tell you, they are far short, however, of collecting 2,500 turkeys by the end of Christmas. That was the goal so far. They've got about 600 turkeys that have been donated. The Poverillo House, as many of you know, is a nonprofit organization. It serves the hungry, takes care of the homeless 365 days a year, and has been doing so, as I said in the monologue, since the early 70s. They not only serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner to those in need, but also serve as a shelter and safe haven for those struggling that have nowhere else to go. I'm talking about a 28-bed residential property that is for alcohol and drug rehabilitation. It's a part of the program, and as a 5-bed residential home as well. That's not all. Listen to this. The Poverillo provides free clothing, recreation, a mail service, transportation, and 10 years ago opened up a place called Village of Hope. That's a temporary overnight shelter for the homeless. The place also provides free medical and dental care. It is certainly an amazing place. Right now, live in our studio is Cruz Avila. He is the executive director of the Poverillo House. He is fairly new on the job. He is here as our guest today. He'll take your phone calls at 436 MeTV option 11. Remember, turn down the sound on your television set. So they take care of the hungry, they take care of the homeless, they take care of the sick. What gets me, I mean, this is amazing. They got mail service and transportation if you need it. 436 MeTV option 11, the Poverillo House, in need of help this holiday season as Thanksgiving is only 2 days away. We're back with our guest here on Connect with Me in just a momento.
1 Adam 12.
This is Adam 12. It stars Martin Milner as Officer Pete Malloy, Kent McCord as Officer Jim Reed.
1 Adam 12, roger.
This black and white patrol car has an overhead valve V8 engine. It develops 325 horsepower at 4,800 RPMs. It accelerates from 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. It has a top speed of 120 miles an hour. The automobile has 2 shotgun racks, one attached to the bottom portion of the front seat, one in the vehicle trunk.
You want me to drive?
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Back here on Connect with Me, live on Comcast Channel 187, and as we told you yesterday, 43.6 if you have a digital outdoor antenna. No question about it. Glad you're watching us on this day. Cruz Avila, the Executive Director of the Poverello House. How you doing, my friend?
Doing great. Thank you
Hey,
for having me on your
let's
show.
put that mic right up there so we can hear you. All right. So how things going?
They're going great. They're going really good.
2,500 turkeys by the end of Christmas.
That is correct.
Your goal is falling a little bit short now. What can people do?
I think just, bringing in those turkeys, bringing in those donations on a day-to-day basis. We're 2 days away from Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So, we're reaching our goal. We're at 600 right now. So I'm sure we'll get there before the end of the year.
You think so?
I think so.
600? So
Yeah.
you've got to more than double that.
Right, but people have very generous hearts, and just the folks in general here in the Central Valley are very giving, and I'm pretty sure we're going to hit that goal.
All right, you serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You were telling me earlier, how many meals a day do you serve, approximately?
Right now, pretty much around 1,200 meals a day we're serving.
That's
so
amazing.
that's
How many pounds of food?
Geez, we're looking at, and actually I just spoke with our director of the kitchen, and meat alone a week, about 80,000 pounds of nothing but meat. And that's not including vegetables and other portions that go into our meals. But so it kind of gives you a good guesstimation of how much we're looking at.
All right, give us an estimation or a general idea of your background. Now, you're young. You're what, 34 years old?
That's correct. Yeah.
All right, and you're the executive director. Give us some idea of what your background is like.
Well, let me tell you, I have the human resources background, so I also have the counseling background, organizational leadership. So I think all those three, it's the best of all three worlds to tie into an amazing organization that Mike McGarvin started back in 1973, just really adding to what has been established and just kind of taking it forth and running with it. The team that we have now is amazing. Everyone from our operations inside to our marketing and just the whole gamut itself.
Who appointed you? The board?
The board, and also Jim Connell and who is the current executive director that's going to be leaving at the end of this year, but still going to be on as a consultant with us, and then also Mike McGarvin, who actually is the founder of Poverello House.
Right, and so what do you think they saw in you, and what was your selling point in getting? Did you go after the job, or?
Well, actually, I interviewed. The board interviewed me, and
did you go after them, or did they seek you out?
Well, I actually put in the application, and it was
you thought, oh, what the heck? Toss my name in the hat, right?
No, not only tossing the name in the hat, but I think it's more of because my passions and my drive lies with
helping people.
Yeah, with the population that we're helping out, with the clients that we're serving, and it's close to my heart, and it's something that that I love doing on a day-to-day basis. So it's all the passion that I have for the position.
What do you think they saw in your qualities?
I think it's the compassion, that spark, the honesty, I'm not, what you see is what you get. There's nothing hiding behind this person that you see in front of you. And it's just about all the clients. It's about really working with the clients on a day-to-day basis. And, there's no BSing about it. It's just, we provide a service, and that's what I'm here to do.
Okay, we got some B-roll here, a little bit of videotape that we took of some of the meals being served up there, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay. This is a daily occurrence, right?
Daily
365
occurrence.
a year.
Right.
Okay, but what are you going to be doing special on Thanksgiving, let's say?
Well, we're cooking 120, I should say, 1,200. It's 120 turkeys that we're cooking. Our kitchen opens up.
Just for Thanksgiving alone?
Just for Thanksgiving alone. It's 120 turkeys that are being cooked, but our kitchen opens at 4:30 in the morning. Tito and his crew, and you can see the volunteers that we have and our residents, they'll come in early, and we'll work with them, and we start cooking the meals and doing the mashed potatoes, doing all the great fixings that we have for the day of, and it just kind of goes from there. So
will the lines be out the door?
Since
long lines?
This being my first year there, I'll get to experience it firsthand. But from what I've heard last year, the lines are a little bit longer on the holidays. But
what time do you start serving exactly?
So we'll actually start serving at 8 o'clock. So 8 o'clock it will be the first meal, and so we'll have the breakfast, and then which it's going to be a light breakfast in the morning. But then Thanksgiving, the actual meal itself is at noon, and that's going to be the big Thanksgiving meal.
And then you'll also serve dinner that night.
We don't serve dinner that night, but we will have sack lunches for the clients that come through the doors, but 12 o'clock. So we actually close doors around 2 to 3 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day.
Okay, so you'll have stuff or food for them to take with them if they want.
Yeah, correct, for the afternoon or evening.
All right. How does the Poverello House, how have they done it all these years through donations, huh? No I mean, any federal grants? I mean, that's a lot of money that it takes to run a place like this, to serve that many meals a day, every day.
Right. I mean, and once again, it really does come back to the humbleness and I think the blessings that we have from the Central Valley in itself. It's been run predominantly by donations and, just in-kind gifts, monetary gifts that, that even, other nonprofits have given. We collaborate with other nonprofits across the board as well in Fresno County. And so just looking at the history and reading up on the past history of Poverello, it's just the folks that really have that big heart and that checkbook that are, really helping support the Poverello and its mission and the vision on what we have as we go forth after 40 years.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the history. And Mike McGarvin, you mentioned him. He started the Poverello House. We do have a phone call. Let's take it here real quick on Connect with Me. Good morning. You're on the program. Caller, what's your question?
Wow. Cruz, your guest, he's got some big shoes to fill. Jim Connell stepping down at the end of the year. Can talk a little bit about some of the highlights of Jim Connell's career and, of course, the mission statement for the Poverello House that's been leading charities in the Fresno area for, 40 years, did you say? That's great. Thanks. That's my question.
What's your question? I didn't get the question. Did you?
The question was, big shoes to fill. Can you hit the highlights of Jim Connell's tenure? Can you talk a little bit about Jim Connell, the outgoing director?
Yeah. So thank you for the call. I mean, Jim he's just an amazing man. It's I'm like a sponge underneath Jim right now. I'm soaking up all his talents, all the knowledge that he's brought financially. He has a really strong financial background, who's really, really kept up the POV on the financial side with the donations and all that have been running through. Jim, once again, his heart, his passion, his vision for the last 23 years that he's been with the Poverello House have just led to so many amazing accomplishments there. And, like the caller said, to fill his shoes, it is big shoes to fill, but I'm learning a lot from him, and I know that we'll be working together a lot.
He was there how long?
At the end of this year, it'll be 23 years. 23
years.
Yeah.
Okay, the history of the Poverello, it dates back to 1973.
Right.
There's no question about it. McGarvin started it, and Mike McGarvin himself had drug, alcohol problems. He was living in San Francisco.
Right.
He went and sought out help, then moved to Fresno, I guess, with his family,
right,
and thus decided to start a nonprofit. The original location of the Poverello House was where?
It was actually right off of F Street. It was a little coffee house right off of F Street in downtown.
Didn't it burn down?
It burned down. It burned down, and so that kind of put things on hold a little bit. But then, Mike being the guy that he is and his wife, they did what they could with the local churches to come back in and start, little by little, starting it up again. And then obviously, it just takes place from there on now where we're at.
Did it burn down once or twice?
It burned down once.
One time. And then rebuilt at that same location.
Rebuilt, and then it just kind of started growing from there.
And when was the place refurbished, Cruz?
Well, it's, he started the whole, it just pretty much in the, I would say in the early 80s, it started kind of like the refurbish and kind of reconstruction and regoing
and
expansions of all that. So the early 80s is when, things just started kind of building up. And obviously from the 80s up until now, you can see the progress that we've made after 40 years there at the location.
It's amazing the place has stayed afloat that long, especially in tough economic times. People are struggling themselves and having a hard time putting food on the table.
Correct, yeah. That's very true.
Cruz Avila, the executive director of the Poverello House here in the city of Fresno, 40 years in the making. He's new on the job. Of course, if you want to call in and help out the Poverello House this holiday season, 436-MeTV, option 11. Call in, ask a question. We'll also ask Cruz how you can get a hold of the Poverello House via either email or maybe the website, perhaps even call in. We're back with our program in just a moment.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Samsung big screen we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Time for that upgrade to an HD 3D web-enabled Samsung TV. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
back here with Cruz Avila, the executive director of the Poverillo House. You were mentioning you get into work at 6:30 in the morning?
Correct.
Wow, what are you doing at 6:30?
Well, there's a lot of operations going on, from opening up, working with our residents in the program itself. I have to say, hands down to our deputy director Paul Stack, who just he heads up all the operations within our organization, and so he's there early. There'll be times when I'm in early. There's other days I'll be in a little bit later, meeting up with folks at the table.
But you're there until like 6:30 at night, huh? 7 o'clock at night.
Sometimes it just depends on the schedule that we have, and just making sure everything's going afloat. And as I start, it's just kind of getting to know the routine of the program, the organization itself, and so getting.
How long have you been on the job there, Cruz?
September 16th was my first day there of this year, so
Okay.
it's coming in running, but it's been great, challenges and opportunities, and it's just amazing.
You are originally from Sanger.
Correct.
Graduated from Sanger High.
That's right.
The old Sanger High.
The old Sanger High, yes.
You know some people in Sanger that I know. I was kind of surprised to learn about that, but you still got ties to Sanger, obviously. You got family, friends there?
Yeah, actually, family, friends. My folks are still, within Sanger itself, and so it's amazing. It's home's where the heart's at, so I'm back in Fresno County.
All right, let's talk a little bit more about the Poverillo House and what facilities you have out there. Let's roll the videotape and take a look at some of the places out there. You've got Naomi's House. Explain what this is.
So Naomi's House, it's a 24-bed shelter for women, for single women. They actually are able to line up every afternoon at 4:30. It's a place for them to stay overnight.
How many beds?
It's 24 beds.
Okay.
It's solely funded by a HUD grant that's been funded since 2007, and so we've been there with Naomi's House, and it just really provides that those activities, bingo and other types of activities that.
What facility is this here?
This is actually the Holy Cross Center for Women. So this is on the other side, right by Naomi's house as well.
Yeah, washers and dryers there.
And so this is actually funded by St. Agnes Medical Group. And so St. Agnes is the ones who fund the Holy Cross Center for Women, and then also the clinic that we have on property as well.
All right. And also, in 2004, Mike McGarvin started what is called now the Village of Hope. Explain what that is.
So Village of Hope, so those are our shelters that we have for some of the clients that are looking for a place to stay that don't have anywhere to go. Worked with the city of Fresno on that project. And
but are these drug and alcohol rehab patients, or?
It's various. I mean, clients that come through the doors, it's it's a variety of different clients that are coming through our doors. So it's not only for drug and rehab, but it's for for folks that need a shelter and place to stay.
And then a few years ago, back in 2007, he started the second Village of Hope, and that's called the Community of Hope. Same type of deal there?
Same type of deal.
Yeah. All right. How many people do you get that you see come through your doors that do have problems with drugs and alcohol?
To be honest with you, John, it varies back and forth. I mean, each client's different. Percentage-wise, I couldn't give you a percentage number because, it varies. I mean, everyone's unique.
What do you do to try to help them shake the habit?
It's not about helping them shake the habit. It's about helping them come back to a normal atmosphere. I think when they walk through our gates and through our doors, when they're getting a meal, they're coming back to the sustainability of them having a place to go to, have a sit-down meal, be able to interact with their community, being able to socialize again, and to be able to have that effect not only on themselves but with others, that they're able to kind of progress and keep going on a day-to-day basis without any of their addictions that they've had in the past, and just kind of seeing where it goes from there.
Does Mike get involved? Mike McGarvin?
Yeah, Mike he's amazing. He's always
like a
there.
Counselor there, or?
He's not a counselor. He's actually working with our residents on a day-to-day basis. He's kind of the greeter at the door when they're coming in, sits down with them on their lunch times. He'll be open to
I guess
them.
Since he went through a bad period in his life with drugs and alcohol, that maybe he is able to talk or counsel some of these people.
Oh yeah, and without a doubt, I mean, I think it comes natural to Mike, to Papa Mike as we call him, that he's just, he's able to relate with the clients, and clients relate with him as well, and so he's there as, he is a counselor, and he's there on a day-to-day basis, in the mornings, in the afternoons, at every meal. He's the maitre d' there at the center.
If people want to get a hold of either you or somebody at the Poverillo House to donate a turkey or donate some money or donate clothing, right? You take clothing too.
Clothing as well, yes.
Clothing
correct.
or whatever. how would they get a hold of you? Through the website,
Yeah,
phone number?
Yeah, they can go through our website, which is palvarellohouse.org.
Okay.
They can go to our website, www.palvarellohouse.org, or they can give us a call. It's the area code is 559 498-6698.
Okay, 498-6698 here. And the street address is what?
It's 412 F Street.
Okay, so that's actually not too far from here.
It's right down the
Ventura
street.
Studios here. All right, we're talking with Cruz Avila. He is the executive director of the Poverello House. If you want to help out, you know how to get in touch with them now. And if you want to call in and ask a question, or 2 or 3, 436 MeTV option 11. Don't wade through the message, obviously, and turn down the sound on your TV set. We're going to be back with our guest in just a moment.
Now, why don't you tell us the whole story right from the beginning? All right, from the beginning. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. My name's Friday. I carry a badge. Police officers.
You any idea who the other man was?
My partner's Bill Gannon.
Program?
We got just one big question.
Yeah.
When?
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
And back here on Connect With Me on MeTV Fresno. You're watching us, of course, on 43.6 if you have an antenna, and, of course, Comcast Channel 187. And the Poverello House has been around for 40 years, and you want to give a telephone number out one more time?
Yeah, just to make sure. So it's 559 area code 498-6988.
Okay. Again.
559 area code 498-6988.
Okay, we got it. We got it straight now. We want to show a couple of more videos before we run out of time here. And let's go ahead and roll the videotape, and then we'll see what we've got. And you can talk about what we're looking at there up on the monitor. Cruz?
So this is where we get our donations every day. I mean, you see our residents there who are great. We have an amazing team of 28 residents who help us not only in the kitchen but our security. You have the warehouse here where everything's stocked of all the donations that we get.
Food,
clothing, diapers.
You have a cold storage unit, obviously.
Cold storage unit as well. Yeah, for all the food that needs to be refrigerated. But yeah, the warehouse, 1940 warehouse that we've had, that's still there standing. This is the clothing warehouse that we have across the way at the Holy Cross Center for Women. So that's where we get all the clothing, and families are able to come in and pick up all the clothing that we have there. It runs from diapers, the clothes gets washed, it gets dried, everything there, and so it's clean, it's sanitary for the clients that are picking up all the clothing that they receive. So this is, they distribute everything, they put it in its, in the age groups and the sizes, and so it's all labeled and put in its appropriate spot there. So by the residents that help out and volunteers through the program.
Turn you back around here. So what's your biggest need? Is it food or clothing?
It's a little of both. I think food and clothing, especially in the wintertime, it's always the clothing. But one of the things that we are really in need of at this time is our backpacks for clients. And the reason I say backpack is it's, what they have the carts and the whole encampments, and some of the clients don't have their carts anymore, and so what we're doing is we're trying to get backpacks so they can store all their belongings in their backpacks and are able to carry with them, and they can have them with them all the time, and it's not taking up so much space either on their behalf, and they're able to keep their belongings close to them.
Cruz, talk about the free medical and dental assistance that you give the clients out there.
Yeah, so the medical and dental assistance there, we have a great team there. Once again, it's by St. Agnes. The clinic is run through volunteers. We have volunteers that are...
So how does it work? Somebody comes in, and they have a problem, and they're seen by a physician?
Yeah, they're seen by a physician, and these are a physician that donate their free time. These are doctors, medical doctors, and dentists.
They go out to the facility.
They go out to the clinic.
On location at the Poverello.
Correct.
Okay.
And so they'll provide, our clients line up certain days of the week, and they have their tickets. And once they get a ticket, they'll be able to be a part of the line for the clinic. Then we open our doors, and then they'll be able to go in, and they're seen by a physician if it's a dental, if it's dental or medical, depending on what they're going in for.
And can they be prescribed a medication if they need to?
Yeah, so they'll be prescribed a medication depending on the doctor that sees them, and obviously we have help with them on vouchers and stuff to help them with the prescription if they don't have funds to be able to purchase them, or we'll help them out on that way as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you will? Okay. And so the dental works kind of the same way.
Dental works,
If they need dental work, where will that dental work take place?
So if they need dental work, there's some stuff that we'd be able to do on site, and others, if we need to send them out to another dental facility, then we'll send them out. But that's by referral by the doctor himself.
And how does that get paid for? Does the Poverello help out with that too?
Poverello helps out with, and what's not only Poverello, but it's St. Agnes who pays for all those costs, because they're housed there at the Poverello community. But St. Agnes is the one who picks up all those costs.
What if somebody has an ongoing medical condition, for example, high blood pressure or a heart condition? Can they get ongoing treatment?
Definitely. I mean, we have clients that have been coming in for over 20 years to the clinic, and from
That's amazing.
Yeah, from just, and I actually met a client who has been going there for a little bit over 15 years that I just met the other day.
Okay, and you also provide a shower if somebody needs to take a shower.
Right.
You got a laundry service, transportation. Explain this. I was fascinated by the fact that you are able to provide transportation for anybody. I mean, assuming you don't want to go out of town, right?
Right.
You don't drive somebody to Los Angeles, right, or San Francisco.
We haven't as of yet, so I don't know. Maybe, but it's one of those things for us. If a client is, if there's not any, Mike McGarvin, Papa Mike loves to give out tokens for the bus and stuff as well.
Right.
So if we run out of tokens and a client needs
But will you
transportation,
physically give someone a ride?
Yeah, if they
with
need,
the vans?
yeah, if they need a ride somewhere and it's someone in need that needs to get from one spot to another, if we have the time and the staffing to do it, then we'll definitely do it.
Really? So if somebody wants to go visit their great uncle across town, you take them?
If we have the staff and the time to do it, then definitely, yeah.
That's pretty amazing. We already talked about the clothing, recreation, and mail service. You want to delve into that?
Yeah, so recreation, I mean, we have, it's what we call our day room, which is also our, the room where everyone comes in, our clients comes in, to have their meals, each 3 meals a day, but then also providing movies for the clients. So they're, if it's a rainy day, they'll be able to watch movies inside. There's basketball, within the courtyard there. There's bingo going on at Naomi's house. There's other activities going on at across at the Holy Cross Center for Women.
Right.
And then clients are able to, to mail out from our facility and also receive mail at their facility. So they just put our address on there, and then we give clients their mail.
Just use the Poverello as a return address.
Return address for the clients.
Amazing. Got one more piece of video here before we go. It's called the storage shed. We'll let you describe the action here and what we're looking at, Cruz.
So these are the shelters that we have for the clients that that are in need of a place to stay.
How many?
There's a total of 73 total.
Okay.
73 total, and so we have them across the way there on F Street. And these are for clients that are, Mondays and Wednesdays they line up, they get a ticket to see if they are able to, come in and stay in one of these shelters.
Stay?
It's not necessarily one night stay, but we have the same clients that come in and stay on a night-to-night basis there at these shelters.
And each night they have to get the new ticket, right?
Right. It's one of those. It's on a ticket come first serve basis, but they have to keep them clean. There's certain rules and policies that we have within our.
Now, do you have a cleaning crew that comes in and cleans these places out?
The clients themselves, we'll do some of the work, but most of the part it's the clients making sure that they're keeping their shelter, clean and up to speed with things. But Letty is our client coordinator there, so she works with the clients that come in and that are housed at those shelters.
Okay, so what's in those storage sheds right there? What physically what is inside?
So physically inside, it's just they're able to put in whatever they bring, like if it's like some
no, but what's already there?
It's the actual shed itself, and so they have,
and that's it.
So it's they have the shed there, and so it's a shelter for them. They come in, they bring in all their belongings, and they make it a home for themselves.
I see. Is there a bed inside there, or
there's not a bed inside? Yeah,
not a bed.
Yeah.
They have to make their own.
Yeah, so
whatever they bring, and that's it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So, where can people donate the turkeys? They can just bring them down to the Poverello, or how does that get done?
Yeah, as we saw in the video before, there's through the back gates when they go either through Santa Clara, which it's mostly through Santa Clara because that's where they drive into the back of the donation compartment there, and so they'll just drive in, and our residents will meet them there. They pull up, and there's a donation sign on top, and that's where they drop off all the donations from food to monetary to
I know you haven't been on the job that long, but from talking to Jim and maybe others there, Mike McGarvin at the Poverello House, have you noticed a new clientele, just more and more people in need as time goes on, as the economy has seemed to have gotten worse over the last 6, 7, 8 years? Is there more of a need here in Fresno?
I mean, I think to say there's more of a need, I think the need's always been there, but I think some of the resources aren't available to them as they were before, and so that's probably where the need comes in. But to say that we are, the numbers are increasing, I don't believe they are. I believe it's just the need and the resources.
How big is the homeless problem in Fresno, would you say?
I think it's a topic. It's a question that comes to mind, and seeing why Fresno has so many homeless, clients. But I mean, I think it goes back and forth with with anything and the resources and tools that are available.
Cruz, sadly, we're out of time. It goes by quick.
Yeah.
Come back again, would you?
Sure will. Thank you.
All right.
Thank
We'd
you
love
for
to have you
the
back,
invitation.
maybe
Thank
for
you.
the Christmas season.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Cruz Avila, the Executive Director of the Poverillo House here in Fresno. Call them, donate your turkeys, and we're going to be back tomorrow with another edition of Connect with Me. We thank Cruz for being here. Have a great day. See you back here tomorrow.